Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Grid, where we talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
And I'm Will.
And today first of all, we was talking forever before we actually got on this episode, but so we have a lot to say. I can tell you that for sure. So yeah, definitely this might be. Yes, we always have.
We always have a
So if we're a little chatty today, that is probably the reason why, because we have been chatting. But yeah, for sure. Like we have like some nice little things that we're going to talk about today. Some good old, of course, we're always going to review. Yes, review a movie. We always do, because we got to do that for you. So we're going to be doing what's the movie? What are we reviewing? Love and Monsters, right?
Love and Monsters. So
yeah.
Essentially, it is literally Zombieland meets Monster. Would you guys say that or no?
No, that's exactly what it is, but with like not just monsters, but like actual bugs. So it's almost kind of like Starship Troopers meet Zombieland.
Okay, there you go. They're giant bugs, not cool.
Well, I wouldn't know. I haven't seen either one, so.
You've never seen Starship Troopers?
No.
Are you serious? Oh my God,
heard of it.
Sir. There is a scene in Starship Troopers that is hilarious. Hilarious. I'm going to send it to you. You might be grossed out, but I'm going to send it to you. And I want to get your reaction, because I know you. You are going to be grossed out when I send this to you. But anyway.
Did you send it to us yet?
No, I haven't sent it yet. Hold on 1 second. Actually, I'm going to send it to you right now. I am going to send it to you right now. And we are still recording, you know what I'm saying? It is all good. But also, we are going to be doing, we're going to be recording, talking about that, excuse me. We're going to be talking about Love and Monsters, but also we are going to be talking about some little news, some little things that happen, a certain character, a certain martial arts character gave Power Rangers praise. We're going to be talking about that. We're gonna be talking about gagged worthy, honey, gagged. Honey. So we're gonna be talking about that, and we're gonna be talking about a little something that brisks the people's internet. A certain Power Ranger team broke the internet this past towards the end of the week. Certain team broke the internet, so we're gonna be talking about that too. You know what I'm saying? Because we need to get the reactions. We need to find out what the people think. But I'm also sending this little clip to the team just to kind of get their opinions on what they think. So I just sent it to them just now.
What is that shit?
What? Oh yeah, and this is the Terra Venture uniforms.
Yeah, the Terra Venture suits.
Is that his butt? What is happening?
No.
Oh God! Wait! Be quiet. I didn't get there yet.
It's called live reaction.
Look at the shape.
I'm at well.
Look at the shape of it.
Oh, I can imagine. Oh God! It hasn't even started yet. I can imagine. Jesus. Ew. Why does it have so many eyes?
Look at the shape of his mouth. Look at the shape of his mouth.
Yo. Oh! Ow! Wow. That looks like a...
Yeah, it's supposed to resemble a female part.
Well, and that part looked like it, but the rest of it looked like something else. Oh my God.
That was interesting.
The blonde, I recognize her too. It was even veiny. Oh my God.
That was interesting. I don't know about that. Like, anywho, moving on.
When I tell you that movie is hilarious, gross, but hilarious.
Is it an actual comedy sci-fi?
It's a comedy horror. It's like a comedy horror sci-fi.
Okay.
Yeah, like
that's an interesting genre.
like, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a scene. I wanted to actually send you another scene too, but I'll send it after the show. But there's a scene where like they put the bug in the same case as a cow. And it is the funniest thing I have ever seen in my life. Granted, like I hate blood and I'm not into any of that crap, but I promise you, I have never laughed so hard. When I first saw it, I literally was cackling. Grossed out, but cackled. Anyway, back to the show at hand, which we're talking about Power Rangers. So we're first gonna ask. Speaking of, segue. So Twitter, is where we find out all these wonderful things, and now where did you actually find the original? Like, how did you find it? Because Will, you were the one who blessed us with this wonderful bean footage.
So I just opened up Twitter, was scrolling down my timeline, and I saw a team of Rangers, and it was the primary colors, but with green and yellow in the team. So I was like, oh wow, a new Sentai? Like, isn't it kind of early for us to get something like that leaked? And then I looked in the comments and somebody said, oh, this isn't Sentai, this is an adult film. So I was like, what?
What now? So we're getting a team of Power Rangers that are adult porn? Now, how does this work?
Now,
is there like a rip in their suit, or like a hole in their suit ready to go, or like one of those like, oh my God, help, I'm in danger. Oh, you're gonna bless me with that? Okay.
Oh, not bless me. Oh my God. So just to answer that for you, Lena, I am going to answer your questions. But first, before I do, the actual Sentai is called Salvation Squadron Wax Saver. Now, waxing that ass, I don't know, but they're gonna be waxing something in the show. Now, to answer your question, Lena, it depends, because there are some that are like mad crazy, and there are some that are like, that just, they try to tell a story, and then there are some that they just go right for it, and it's just like, oh, okay, all right, well, this is what we're doing, okay. But apparently, there has been some information that came out basically saying that they are supposed to be actually on YouTube, like for a couple episodes, like initially. It's like maybe a movie or a couple episodes initially, I guess, just kind of getting the ball rolling. And then it's supposed to go into the just kind of like introducing you to the team.
I'm sorry.
Kind of introducing you to the team, right? Mm-hmm. And you getting to know the cast, and then they supposed to go ahead and go right into it with the film. So I'm guessing that that's what's supposed to go down, from my understanding. I'm not gonna hold you. These suits are dope.
Yes. That was the thing that got me, because these look great. Like, these are beautiful suits.
They're gorgeous.
The last time that I had seen well, I didn't see the actual film, but I saw the cover of a Power Rangers porn spoof, and they, oh my God, like, they looked awful. Like, they reminded me, like, the helmets were all the same, and they were kind of reminding me of the Arbiter from Unworthy, but they were all painted the different colors. And I think the suits themselves were reminiscent of the 2017 movie. I want to say, I could be wrong, but
my God,
it looked very good. So
I'm not gonna lie to you, I know exactly which one you're talking about.
Yeah, I feel like that. Yeah, that cover was going around.
Yeah, I seen it going around on Twitter, I believe. I want to say it was like a meme or something, and it was like I watched this Power Rangers and I thought this was Power Rangers, but then I found out that it wasn't, or something like that, and I was like, ugh. Like is this who we are? Like, I'm like, oh, okay. But yeah, like I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Like I'm kind of gagged, and I'm like, this actually looks better than what we got now. Like with Zenkaiger that's out right now currently.
Oh, right.
This looks better than Zenkaiger.
Yeah, those they took a big old risk with Zenkaiger suits.
Yeah, they
time.
did.
I do not see that ever being adapted unless like, you know, a little Easter egg episode or two.
Right.
But these, they definitely look like they could be real. Like this looks like this could be a real Sentai season. Like oh my god, like the detail of the suits, like it's like they really went all in. But I wonder the show that they're, oh god, the show. Oh god, the suits. I'm wondering, since they look so good, I'm wondering what the production is going to be on the show. Oh my god, what if they actually have good storytelling?
Yo, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because I promise you, if the actual storyline is good, I might watch it. I'm not now call me nasty, whatever. I mean, it is gonna be on YouTube. Man. So yeah, I mean, I'm saying it's gonna be on YouTube. So I mean, they're not gonna be all like, you know, doing the hanky panky on YouTube. They ain't doing all that. But I'm watching it, and hell, if it's good, I'm gonna watch the movie too. Shit. I mean, if it's good. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm not gonna lie to you. I know I'm gonna get my laugh. I'm gonna get a good laugh in. But I'm just like, why not? Like, listen, like you just said, we grown here now. Little PSA announcement though: if you are under 18, you should not look at this.
Probably shouldn't be listening to this either.
Oh, well, yeah, that too. Like, you probably shouldn't be listening to this. Go ahead and fast forward to like our review of Love and Monsters. That'll be great. But yeah, like, I mean, to be truthfully honest, I'm definitely gonna check it out. Like when it comes on YouTube. Like I want to see how this is gonna look, because I promise you, if it actually looks good, like it actually looks like an actual show, I'm all in. Why do I keep saying all in? I am balls deep. Anyway.
That was so extended. Oh my god.
I am really trying to lengthen out these jokes. I promise you.
Yeah.
Listen. I don't know. I don't know why you're celebrating her. All I know is this is what's happening. That is all I know.
I mean, you know what? Technically speaking, it was perfect because the fireworks went off right around the same time. You're all like, "A new team is coming." Oh, so sexy.
What do you think about? What do you think about it, Alina?
I do like the suits. It's actually really good. So I'm understanding that it's actually going to be a real show along turning it into a porn.
Yes.
That's interesting. Do you know if they're going to use the same people, or is it going to be two separate like storyline, or is it going to be like special edition only? And the other thing is, who's behind this new team? Is this Hasbro, or is this like,
oh my goodness, damn Hasbro?
Well, to answer your question with that one, I'm pretty sure it is definitely not Hasbro or Toei. I'm pretty sure that's not the case.
I mean, it's
but
I'm curious who's gonna get sued this time.
No. I don't think they're gonna. I think child. To be truthfully honest, I don't know. But like, I don't think they're necessarily gonna be on some like, Toei is producing. I mean, because Toei is like, we trying to add in as many Sentai influences as possible to get this coin, because apparently, news update, everybody, Toei isn't doing well. Just FYI, Power Rangers ain't doing so well in Japan.
Really?
Like Super Sentai.
Mhm.
What
It's
happened?
not. The toy sales have been dwindling each year for like almost like 5 years in a row. Like they've been getting lower and lower and lower. They're not doing well. So it's I'm not saying that it's on its last leg because I doubt that because they're still making money. They're just not making as much money as they were. It's one of those situations where it's like, they had their peak at one point and then they just started, just kind of falling off. Like they had their peak moments where they had like your Gokaiger and your Kyoruger. I want to say they even had an uptick with TotG, the train one. They had an uptick with that one too, I want to say, because Japanese children love trains. Like so I believe they had an uptick with them too, but for the most part, most of the seasons that a lot of American fans, excuse me, think that are doing well in Japan, they're not. Like their gross at the end of the year when it comes to money, and the gains of like how much money they've made over the course of that year, they aren't good. And they're slowly decreasing. So it's not looking good for Sentai right now. And Kamen Rider is even though Kamen Rider is doing way better than Super Sentai, they're, from my understanding, from what I've heard, I don't know how true this is, but from what I've heard, they are kind of having a little decline with the current show that is out right now, Saber. I've been said this, and I think I've said this on the show. I just think that Sentai needs a makeover.
I was about to say that, yeah.
Yeah, it just needs a makeover. Kamen Rider did it. Kamen Rider took the time off, got itself together. It was like, I let you walk away and I let you get yourself together. You know what I'm saying? And and look at what happened. Like they came back and now we have, Kamen Rider being one of the more better performing shows. And plus the actual show itself is really good too. So, I firmly in my heart believe that, and I'm not saying that, oh, I want Super Sentai to go away. I'm not saying that. But also too, what I don't want is for it to be on its last leg and they're really trying to give it that last push. Like, yeah, we're going to try to push this out. And it still fails and it still flops. And then we're never going to get it back again. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather them just go ahead, step off to the side, say, we're going to, stop for 2 years. We're going to stop production. We're going to try to get ourselves together. We're going to try to, formulate some things, get some things together, kind of revise the whole structure and come back with something bigger and better and stronger than before. See ya, come back and then be like, oh snap, this is, oh snap, this is bomb, this is great. You know what I'm saying? And we be all good. Instead of, you know what I'm saying, just getting to that point where it's like, damn, the show is terrible. You know what I'm saying? Because we kind of listen, we're kind of there. I mean, I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love Zenkaitra. Like I be on Twitter, I be seeing the people, I be seeing the comments. Like people be loving themselves some Zenkaitra, but it's not making the money. It's sad. It's a sad situation from to where we are at the moment. Oh, what's going on? Who's quacking?
Well,
that's me.
You need to mute yourself.
Will, you quacking?
Sorry.
Quack, quack. Affleck. But Affleck.
I didn't know you could hear that. I'm so sorry.
We hear
my
it
goodness.
all the time.
Damn. Okay.
Quack, quack. Affleck.
Yeah, why you never say nothing?
Well, I can't call you out on it in the middle of recording.
Oh, yeah. All right, I'm on mute.
Oh my goodness. But anywho, can y'all hear that in the back?
No.
Oh, okay, good. But anywho, so yeah, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So Sentai is not doing very well, but we do know what is doing well though. Speaking of things that are doing well though, so a certain person by the name of Simu Liu is giving Power Rangers props. Lena, go ahead and tell us the story. What's T? What happened?
Okay, first of all, I would like to proudly say that this man is a Canadian, right out of Toronto. Like, what I mean right out of Toronto, I mean like I think we're practically neighbors before he moved to Los Angeles to pursue his acting career. But for starter, what I want to say is I admire this man so much for quitting his job at 30 as an accountant to pursue his acting career full time. And now he's like literally the first Asian superhero that we're getting in the MU universe. So I just want to say that. And the other thing is, I kind of want to talk about this before we get into the whole comment. So I'm not sure if you guys like know, but he recently just became the face of Men's Health magazine. He's literally the first person ever of color to be on the cover of Men's magazine. It kind of worked out really well.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. And it worked really well because Shay Mitchell, if you all don't know, Shay Mitchell is also another Canadian, Filipino, half Filipino. She's now on the female cover of it. I know not relevant, but I guess also relevant in the sense of what's happening in today's day and age. So we finally have first two female. Well, I'm not sure about the female part of it, but he is our first ever Asian person of color representation of Men's Health magazine, like ever.
That's crazy.
Wow, he is the first Asian Men's Health person. Wow.
Yeah. So not only is he pushing barriers this year with after pursuing his role and all that stuff, but he's also best known for Kim's Convenient as Jung, the brother, you know, the one that he plays Korean, but he's not a Korean. So if you guys watch Kim's Convenient, it is on Netflix. It is really, really good. I like watch all the seasons, and they recently just canceled it, and he's got major words as to why they're canceling it. But that's another story for another day. But anyhow, going back to the tweet, which I thought was really interesting. I never pegged him to be a whole Power Ranger fan, but hey, you know what? People surprise you. So he tweeted that he loved Forever Red episode.
Yeah. So basically, he said, some days when I start feeling like I'm too cool for school, I remember that Power Rangers did a 10th anniversary crossover episode with 10 Red Rangers, and that I can still quote it from beginning to end.
Like, just absolutely wow, first of all. And second of all, I think having him say something like this, I don't know, he's just really, it represents so much more than just, oh my God, like, oh, another Asian man saying this, right? I think right now, too, having somebody in the MU kind of giving props to Power Rangers is like a major holy moly.
Yeah.
Holy moly. But
yeah.
Right. But what I want to say too is I found this whole thing kind of annoying too, because I was reading in some of the comments and some of them were like, oh, I respect him so much more now that he likes Power Rangers. Oh, like, oh, now that he likes Power Rangers, I'm gonna start following him. Oh, what does that have to do? I don't know, I guess, like, why are we disrespecting somebody to respect somebody because now they like Power Rangers?
I didn't quite take it that way. Because I've there's been people that I may have known of or didn't know of, and then they like something that I liked, and it's like, oh, you like that too, so I'm gonna follow you now. Like, I've done that before.
I mean, yeah, but I feel like at the same time, in the beginning, everyone was criticizing the fact that he was an Asian superhero. They're like, oh, like,
that's stupid.
And I've seen some of the comments after he made Men's Health magazine. Some of the comments were like, he's not even like hot. How is he considered handsome? He's just
wow.
like,
Isn't it about health and fitness?
Exactly. So it's just, I guess it was just like a lot when I like dived into it. It went from that to him like, oh yeah, he likes Power Rangers. Now he's so cool. Well, I thought he was always like, shouldn't have.
Well, cool to Power Rangers fans, I guess. To yeah. I was just going to say we're kind of like a niche audience, so we're not that big.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
mean, also too, and I understand exactly where you're coming from, Lena, in the sense of like, I understand why. I understand the frustration of it, because it's like, okay, well, you only are now caring about him only because he's giving shouts out to Power Rangers, and we know for sure, oh, he's actually a fan of the show
Yeah.
because he's very specific with it, so we know, oh wow, like he's an actual fan. So it's like, oh wow, an actual actor, who's big, actually likes Power Rangers. Oh my God, this is
Right.
so cool. So now I'm gonna follow him. It's like, wow, like really. But so I understand that frustration of it. I guess from the way I feel about it personally, it's frustrating to see, but also too, I also feel like it's one of those situations where, for us as people of color, and we've kind of talked about this a little bit before the show, I guess, in our pre-show, we kind of talked about this, but it's one of those situations where it's like, we as people of color, we don't get to normally see ourselves in the forefront like that. We've been normalized so much to the point where it's like, okay, we're so used to seeing white people,
Mm-hmm.
and we're so used to seeing them in the forefront.
Mm-hmm.
And even then white people even are so used to seeing themselves in the forefront, to where it's like, when big stuff like this happens, it's like, oh, okay, great, good for you. You know what I'm saying? But
Yep.
Some
because
of them
they're
don't
so
get it.
exactly, because they're so used to seeing themselves. It's
Yeah.
like, well, I mean, we've been here. So, I
Uh-huh.
mean, I guess great for you. But to us, it's like, especially in your case, Lena, with you being an Asian woman, for you, that's monumental. That is like,
Thank you.
oh my God, that is
Mhm.
freaking amazing.
Yep.
And it's like, it's frustrating, because it's like, first of all, why are you, trivializing something like this so much? And also, it's like, why has it taken so long
Thank you.
for
Oh
this
my
to happen?
God. Thank you.
Mhm.
You know
Exactly.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
and it's one of those situations where, yes, it is very frustrating, because it's like, okay, well, crap. Like, I mean, you know, we've seen other people get their things for so long. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's like, okay, we've arrived finally,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like, where are our flowers? There are none.
Exactly.
It's only like, it's like an echo chamber. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, we're all congratulating, like, yeah. And then, like, it's almost it's like an echo chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody in the echo chamber, like all the Asians, yes,
Yep.
great, fantastic.
Exactly.
And outside of the echo chamber, it's like dead silence. You know what I'm saying? So I can kind of understand your
Thank
feeling on it, in the sense of
Thank you.
like, that's
You,
not, that's not fair.
yeah, you
You know?
basically got it in all the right words. I didn't know how to express it, and you essentially got that's exactly it. And I think kind of bring it back a little bit. Like, for example, had Black Panther failed as a movie, no one would be talking about it other than just
Yeah.
our community, just our people of color. Because even I'm not gonna lie, when Black Panther came out, I felt for you. I felt for you guys. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, it's damn straight. They need their things too.
Yeah.
Damn straight. But had
Yeah.
that fail, nobody would be talking about it. And
Yeah.
because it ended up being a really fucking kick-ass movie, everyone was
Yeah.
talking about it. And then on top of all of that, had he done the exact same thing where he tweeted out, "Oh my God, I love Power Rangers too," it would have been even a huge situation.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
you kind of put in perspective, like that's and I appreciate exactly everything you said. It was exactly how I felt. I was just seeing out that
Yeah.
frustration. I'm like, no, not cool. Not cool. Like,
Yeah.
when he made the announcement, that should have been the big part, not, oh, he's a Power Ranger fan. Oh my God, I'm gonna go follow him now. I'm gonna go follow. What?
Right.
So you're following him
No, I
because he's
feel
a
you.
Power Ranger fan, not because this man worked so hard to achieve his things. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I mean, also too, historically, and child, we gonna get into a damn history lesson. Historically, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially in Western media, when it comes to westernized media, Asian men are normally not seen as leads.
Nope.
You know, Asian men aren't really lead characters. And before anyone gets up there and be like, oh, well, what about Jet Li? What about Jackie Chan? Out of all the white people that we know as leads and as leading men, leading action men, we only have 2 Asians. And for the most part.
And not even just
with the exception of like, what was the other guy? The guy who played Ip Man. Oh man, wushu artist.
Oh my god.
I know exactly what you're talking
about.
Okay,
but you know who I'm talking about, right?
Yes, we all know. Yes. So, but like, not even just that. See, you brought up those 3 really, like 3 amazing martial artists. But what do they all have in common? They're all martial artists.
They're in action. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're in action.
And they're all the exact same like genre.
Donnie Yen, that's his name.
Donnie Yen. There we go. Thank you.
Right.
And that's exactly the point. Yeah, exactly, Lena.
And on top of all that, the storyline is more or less the same. The only difference with Jackie Chan was he was actually supposed to be funny. You know, he was funny.
Right.
But they also got him to do the whole Asian accent funny, you know, and having like, you know, play on the stereotypes stuff, right? Where, you know, with someone like Simu now, who's becoming a whole ass superhero, is a whole ass superhero being recognized like Captain America, being recognized like Black Panther, being recognized as, I don't know, like what's another superhero, like Iron Man, you know? So yes, I know it's still fighting, don't get me wrong, but it's on a whole new different level than we have ever achieved before, you know? It's not the typical storyline like, oh, you know, I'm a martial artist, someone's coming after my family, or I'm fighting for a living because we went through the Great Depression, you know, that was Ip Man. Like they went through a crazy depression and he had to fight in order to put a bag of rice in his family home. They had nothing by the end of it. It was such a sad story.
Oh yeah, like Ip Man is actually one of my favorite movies, by the way. Like I watched all of them, but the thing is, it's like, and that's exactly my point, Lena. Is that Asian men, specifically, historically, that's all Asian men are normally seen as. But for the most part, even if you want to even go back, even outside of, you know, westernized media, Asian men, honestly, were not even really seen as masculine.
No.
You know, due to the dastardly evil plans of white supremacy. Asian men were literally because Asian men were, you know, were being seen as, oh, like exotic and all these things, and also, you know, just due to inherent racism, obviously, to keep women from, you know, being with Asian men, they were, you know, called effeminate. They were, you know, their masculinity were stripped in a sense. They were lied to on their penis sizes, you know, saying that, oh, all Asian men's penises were small.
I didn't think you were going to bring that part up.
Oh no, listen, we're gonna talk about it, honey. We're gonna talk.
And you know what? You have a point, because that's literally the first thing people will say. Oh, I don't want to be with an Asian man because, you know, it's like, well, how do you know? Have you been with an Asian man?
And I'm sorry, but no tea, no shade, but I can tell you now, there's some black and some whites and some Latinos with some not so big Johns either. So let's not do this. This is not an inherent, you know, Asian man thing. Like I can tell you that now. It is not just an Asian man thing. So if y'all want to try to play Asian men, no. And also too, it's just like I said, like the world was literally gooped and gagged into believing that Asian men were effeminate and not seen as heroic and not seen as masculine as white men. And even then, and like the same thing can be said with black men in a sense, where, you know, we can even go to the whole thing of, you know, black men being seen as animals, black men being seen as property. You know, so it's we've all had these evil stereotypes being perpetrated on us as, you know, oh, we aren't able to be seen as other than heroes, other than, you know, special people that can be in supernatural circumstances and be the hero and not die of these circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Because for the most part, you know, we always see these situations where, you know, people of color are always in supernatural sci-fi movies, but we don't ever make it out.
No, we're the first to
know what I'm saying?
Even though it's them white folks that want to go in there and we're trying to save their asses.
Right.
And we end up dying.
And we end up dying. So it's like we never actually get the satisfaction of seeing ourselves be the heroes. So so that's why this situation is so big, because especially I would think in the Asian community, because of the fact that, now it's like, oh my gosh, they're finally getting their things. You know what I'm saying? Because the MCU is huge. Like, this is big.
Gosh. Like, finally.
So it's like finally. Yes, like we're finally getting something like that, and I hope they do it justice. I really do. So. I hope they do it justice.
I hope so. The only thing is, I'm not feeling, I've seen the trailer. Well, I mean, we all have seen the trailer. The only thing I'm not feeling is Awkwafina, because I just feel like low key, she's been in literally almost every Asian speaking movie there is, possibly. And
I feel like, I don't want to say it, and this is gonna sound terrible, but I'm gonna say it anyway. She's like the Western civilization's token Asian.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, she's our token Asian. Like, we have our token Black people. She's our token Asian.
Yeah.
Where it's like, yeah, if we want something to represent Asians, we gotta bring in Awkwafina. It's that kind of thing.
Right. And so
I'm not trying to take nothing from her. I'm not trying to take her bag, because I mean, girl, get your things, honey.
Me neither.
But
right?
At the same time, it's like, all right, I'm pretty sure there's other, Asian women that can do the same thing that you're doing, honey.
Thank you. And that's what I was just about to say too. The other thing is too, I'm not sure about you, but low key, I don't feel like Awkwafina is actually even acting anymore, because in all the movies except for that last one that she actually did not do in English, she's literally the same character. Loud, I'm not crazy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, from what I've seen in this trailer, she was literally just being the same character from
Crazy
what's
Rich
the movie
Asians?
Crazy Rich Asians. Yeah.
Yep.
She was literally the same character.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like she's just Awkwafina. I don't think she's anyone. I genuinely do not think she's anybody else. Like, the only movie I seen her in that was not like her being crazy was, like I said, it was a native language one where she spoke Mandarin in it, right? So it's just and it was about her grandmother, learning from her grandmother. So that was the only time I didn't see her being crazy Awkwafina, or crazy,
right?
Like, not crazy in a bad way. Don't get me wrong. But
no, right.
She's got a certain style, a certain flair that when you hear her talk, you hear her speak, that's her. You just know.
Right.
You don't have to look for it. You just know. So
you just know it's her.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm happy, like, bring them Asians, but there's so many other Asians that I feel like they could have done her role. So I just hope they're not taking away from other Asians that may actually would have done a better job, because they want to put Awkwafina in it, because she's so well known, right? So I'm really hoping that's the case. And obviously them choosing Simu to be the first lead, that's huge. And to top it all off, is huge because he's a Canadian. Now, a lot of people might not know this, but Canadians don't get recognized for their acting, for their arts, the same way that Americans do. They don't get recognized, period. They can do all the things, but until they go to Hollywood, they don't get recognized the same way. So,
that sucks.
Yeah, it really sucks. So, like, the fact that, here we have Simu, who guess what, just finally moved to Los Angeles, because you know why? He's pursuing that acting career, But you can be on all the shows in Canada and still not be recognized, and that's the problem. Like, and if you are recognized, you're being recognized as, that Canadian actor. Like, you have. Which really is annoying, Like,
that's sad.
It is sad, Like, I can give you guys all a perfect example. Do y'all remember a show called Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Right. It's a Canadian show, and there's this girl on it. I think her name is Charlotte in real life. I could be wrong. Charlotte Sullivan. If you all Google her, I know for a fact you guys recognize her. It's on all the Canadian shows. She was in Goosebumps. She was in, obviously, Are You Afraid of the Dark? And she's a Canadian. She's done so much stuff, but she's still not known as an actress.
Wow.
Like, what? And then obviously you get people like Ryan Reynolds, who's known, or Ryan Gosling, who's known, who's Canadians, and then we get Rachel McAdams. But what did they do? They all went to Hollywood.
Right.
Like you have, like, it's just so annoying. It's like you have to go to Hollywood in order to make it big. Like, that's the saying, And
right, in order to be known as an actor.
Right. So it's just so not cool. Like, hey, don't get me wrong. I'm not taking away from anything from Rachel McAdams, Ryan Gosling, and Ryan Reynolds. they deserve what they did, like good for them, but it's just sort of annoying. Like, say with Drake, Drake was known on Degrassi for the longest time, but he didn't make it big until he went to Hollywood.
Right. So he got his little recording album. And a lot of people even forget that the man can actually act. Like,
I know,
I'm
right?
sorry.
I've been waiting.
Drake is Jimmy. Listen. I'm like, high key, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I still tear up when I see that. Oh my God, when I think of that scene where Jimmy gets shot, I still tear up because, like, yo, that scene when like they're talking at the locker and he's just sitting there. He's like, and as soon as he see the dude pull out that gun, he's like, man, no, don't do that, man. Like it's just the look on his face. I was like, oh no, please don't kill the only black dude that people like on this show. Don't do this. No.
Of course, they take away his legs, right?
And then they take away his legs. It's like, God damn it. Like,
And then his girlfriend like dump him right after, like something stupid like that. I don't remember now.
I think I want to say
Wasn't it Hazel?
Like,
Hazel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because I remember, like, didn't he have problems with like achieving an erection or something like that?
That was later on. That's when.
That was later on, right? Yeah. I know everything is like kind of fuzzy when it comes to Degrassi, but yeah, I do remember he had an issue with getting it up. And then when he was like going through physical therapy, he finally got a hard on and he was embarrassed about it. Oh yeah, like I remember all of that.
Like, it's not terrible. Like, not only did they take away his legs, they're taking away his erection too. Poor dude.
I mean, dang, it was so bad. I was like, no. Oh God, Jimmy. But anyway, but yes.
I think that it's wow. It's really cool, and I'm sure that it's not that uncommon for like a millennial celebrity to have liked Power Rangers. So that kind of makes me just so disappointed that, the people in charge of that franchise haven't gotten it together yet. Because like there's a lot of people that loved it. And this was just so cool to see somebody that's about to, be one of the faces of the next phase of the MCU come out as a Power Rangers fan. That's pretty damn cool. So,
yeah.
So to everybody listening, Shang-Chi is going to be out in September of 2021. So that'll be, I think isn't that the first for the phase 4 of the MCU?
I want to say yes.
Unless we count like WandaVision and all that.
And
I don't know if the shows count.
And Loki.
Yeah, I don't know if the shows count. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna say they do or don't. I don't know. Yeah, they definitely are canon, but I'm saying as far as the MCU movies, like I don't know if they count in yeah.
I feel like they do because I remember they're part of the announcement.
Right, they are part of the announcement. You're right. So they might do count.
Yeah, like just a thought, right? Because I do remember them announcing as part of phases, like part of the phase 1, phase 2, phase whatever. So my thought is, if they're part of the announcement within the same, like when they're talking about different phases, I would assume they count. I mean, I would hope.
Well, yeah. I mean, listen. Here's my thought before we move on. I'm just glad that we have a better, Asian fighting representatives, in the MCU, because the one that we got, well, he technically wasn't Asian, he was actually white, but what was the one with Luke Cage and Jessica Jones? Yes, Danny Rand.
Iron Fist.
Oh gosh, what was Iron Fist? Yes.
Was he supposed to be white, or is Iron Fist Asian?
He's Asian.
Iron Fist. Is he?
He's Asian.
He's Asian. Louis Tan. Everyone kept saying that Louis Tan should have been Iron.
Yes, wasn't he in it? But he was a different character.
He was a drunken man. He was the one guy that he fought drunk, like super drunk. That was him.
Oh wow! I
remember people saying that. I definitely.
Yeah.
Remember
So Louis Tan was actually the drunken guy that he had to fight in order to get past to this like little like place that they were going to. I don't even know. I just remember like looking at Louis Tan being like, why was he not Iron Man? Or
Oh
Iron
my
Fist.
lordy.
Iron Fist. Sorry,
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist. I mean, he could have been Iron Man too. I'm not complaining.
Well, I mean, thank goodness we did finally get a better, martial artist that was actually better, than Iron Fist. I will say this. There was a person who was in Iron Fist who was also in this movie that we're about to talk about.
Right.
And also a Power Ranger that was in this movie that we're going to talk about, who, met a very interesting fate.
He deserved it though. Just saying.
Oh yes, he definitely deserved what he got. He definitely deserved it.
I mean, I will say this: it is very interesting to see a Ranger play the villain.
Oh yeah, like it's always good to see that. Like, we love to see the Rangers go bad. And to me, to be honest, I think they like it. You know what I'm saying? I think they like it. I think it turns them on. Like, yeah, like I like playing evil. Oh yeah. But anyway, so we're gonna be talking about. There's a lot of sexual innuendos in this show. I just want everybody to know. But in this episode, we are going to be reviewing Love and Monsters. Now, Lena, go ahead and give us a little backstory because I know because you're the one who went ahead and sent us this movie for this time around.
I mean, I watch way too many stuff for my own good, but Love and Monster popped up on Netflix on my end in Canada. Actually, really shortly, right after the Ranger who's going to be in it did a whole like, oh, I'm going to be in this movie that's going to make an appearance. These two kids that were 17 get separated due to a breakout of an insect apocalypse.
Well,
Is it like an insect apocalypse or is it like the end of the how would you
there was an asteroid coming to Earth. Earth, I don't know if it was just America or who, but they shot nuclear bombs up at the asteroids. They destroyed them, but the chemicals that were in the nuclear warheads rained down back to Earth, infected insects and bugs and a lot of other things, and mutated them.
Yeah, so mutated them and just turning them to all kinds of weird things. So in picture, like a mixture of SPD with
Megaforce, the first
Megaforce,
half of Megaforce.
All of them, like
they had bugs, which was
but like super size.
I guess.
Yeah, I think it's almost like Megasaurus kind of a thing for this. So anyhow, so the end of the world comes for what looks like America. I mean, they really didn't specify any other countries, so I assume it's America, just America alone. Poor Americans, always being attacked.
It probably wasn't just America.
I want to say it was the world. I want to say it was the world because apparently the asteroid Agatha, what was it? Agatha 301 or something like that. I think it was Agatha 301.
Oh my god, Agatha from WandaVision.
Right.
It was Agatha all along, honey. It was her. She sent down the asteroid, and like Will said, like the different countries all sent missiles towards it, but then the missiles basically had chemicals in it that didn't affect humans, but it affected all the the bugs and stuff on the planet. So basically they all mutated, and they basically, I think that he said they murdered like 70% or something like that of all the population of people,
which is
on Earth.
Right? And not just it affects all living things because it included sea creatures. I guess anything that has legs can move. That's not human.
Yeah.
That's essentially what happened. So the storyline follows.
Well, it didn't do animals. It didn't do animals. So mammals are out.
Okay, yeah, but they were
mainly just like bugs.
Yeah, okay, just bugs and like sea creatures because they had a whole crab. But anyhow, so
and a frog.
And a frog. Yeah, okay, we get the idea.
And jellyfishes, apparently.
Yeah.
They was out here floating around.
It was so
looking dumb.
So the storyline follows this young boy that was a young boy. Him and his girlfriend get separated when they were like 17 due to this obviously this end of the world like situation, life and death situation. So they separate because they have to go find their own families. And several how many years later? I lost track, like 7 years later?
7.
7.
Yeah,
Yeah.
7 years later, they obviously both survive, but it's been 7 years and they hunkered down in a bunker. So they all seem to been able to build a colony where they survive and, do their thing, whatever it is. And they managed to create a way to communicate with another colony by radioing each other. And that was kind of cool. So I guess he radioed a bunch of freaking different colonies and ended up finding his like 17-year-old girlfriend who's no longer 17 either. He ends up finding her. I just want to make that clear. Like, he's not a pedophile. They're both grown. It's just they're both 17 when they separated, and it's been 7
They're
years.
23 now.
Yeah, so it's been like 7 years. It's not crazy. So, anyways, in his mind, he thinks he's still with his girlfriend. You can only imagine. It's always one-sided, right? So essentially, they connect over the radio. Things seems great. And he's like, I'm going to come find you. And she's like, okay, sure, whatever. Like, not really thinking he was going to do it. And the other thing that's kind of crazy is that he doesn't really have any skill of combat at all, or have any skill to actually attack these little insects, bugs, whatever that's going to come attack them. He just essentially is worse than that guy from Zombieland. Like, he just doesn't do anything. He just knows how to make stew. Was it stew or chili? That's about it. He doesn't really do much. So anyhow, he decides that he's gonna leave his colony to go find this girl of his. And it was, how long was the distance? It was like super long, right? Like, it was like
it was like, what was it, like 80, no, it was like how many
90
miles?
miles? 93?
It was some crazy astronomical amount of miles, but it was going to take him 7 days.
Right, basically. Hey, do you see the irony in this? 7 years, 7 days. Anyhow,
I didn't even think of it. Hey, that's a good point, because I didn't think of that. I was just watching the movie. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh no, I just thought of it now because we all brought it up, right? But so his colony has like no faith in him because they know his skills sucks, and he freezes in front of like monsters or whatever you want to call them. We're just gonna call them monsters to make it easier. And somehow this kid survives. So he meets a dog who also lost his owner, but the dog has an obsession with his red dress. So the dress comes with them. And they're on a little journey. They meet 2 other people, a dude and his adopted daughter. They're not really related, but they both lost, like she lost a parent, he lost a son. So I guess they both kind of adopted each other to become a duo. So he goes along and meets them, and they kind of help him survive. So he continues on his little journey. And, goes through all kinds of craziness, sees all kinds of crazy monsters, survive all kinds of craziness. Was there any particular scene you guys want to bring up?
There's a robot, apparently,
Yes.
that I guess was like a futuristic robot during that time.
I mean, I need her. I need her in my life.
Right. Like, she was actually kind of freaking cool. I was like, I like her little LED face that was always changing with the little eyes. I was like, oh, that's so cute. It's so cute.
Right.
But basically, like, he found, like, there was one at the very beginning, and then there was one in the middle of the movie, when he went to this hotel and he found the robot. I think her name, what is it, Mavis? I want to say something like that.
Mavis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they found her, and she didn't have any legs because they got ripped off by a bug.
Poor child, right?
She was running on her last little bit of energy, so like she was like, go ahead and use my energy to contact your friend. So he did, and then like I love this moment. Like, this is actually, like, to me, the best part of the movie was when he and Mavis was sitting there and they were like having their little conversation. And, it was almost kind of like he was talking to a person. But the part that got me was when she was like, she asked him about his past, like who he was. And then she went through all the photo albums of like his parents.
Yeah.
And she was like, she brought up his mom's face and was like, is there anything you would like to say to her?
I know.
And that part, I'm not gonna lie, I choked
teared
up.
up.
I was like,
teared up.
I did too.
I'm like,
was
oh
like,
my
why? I'm like,
god.
can I hold on to you? Can I keep you? Can you come with me on this journey? I'll carry
I
you.
know. I felt so bad for the little robot. Like the robot had a better, to me, the robot had a better character than the main dude to me. But I'm just saying.
Right? Because like the main dude, he was literally all about finding this girl that he didn't even know whether or not she like he was like
Ooh, don't get there yet. Don't get there yet. Don't get there yet. Because that's the kicker. That's the big part right there.
Okay. But you know, like I absolutely loved her. I absolutely and her and the dog. Okay, I'm sorry, that dog. I don't even know how that dog survived. Okay, so in the beginning of the movie, right after he leaves his camp, he meets the dog that essentially saves his life, right? And then the dog takes him back to you know, I'm assuming it's a he. Do you think it's a he?
It's a he.
Okay,
yeah, it's a he.
So he takes him back to his bus, right? Where I guess he was living with his previous owner. And what shook me was, how the heck did this dog survive this whole time without anybody, without food, without anything? But whatever, you know, he's smart. So, you know,
right.
Like he's obsessed with a red dress, but okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's a little creepy. Like out of all things that he could be obsessed with, it's a red dress of his owner.
Yeah, his poor owner passed away and he never got over it.
I mean,
He
I
was
guess,
like,
no, I get that, right? But it's like, I guess like the red, it's just like, you know, kind of like the little saying, like, oh, the little black dress. He got the little red dress. Like it was, I don't know. I could have been something else, but it had to be a damn ass dress. Why? But anywho, whatever. So, you know, this dog, I just love this dog. Like the Mavis and the dog.
It was
love
so
you both.
cute.
I know. Oh my god.
when she dropped Mavis's foot in front of her, and she was like, "Oh, there's my foot," and you heard him just like drop the foot and just like clank. I was like, "Oh."
I know.
I want to laugh, but this is adorable at the same time.
I
Like
know.
it's just like, oh, that sucks.
I
But
know.
she's about to die, and she,
And not even
her
just
energy depleted.
right. I love how the dog's like, I found your leg. Here you go.
You are evil, Will. I just want you to know, you are evil. But anyway, the way you are, like over here, like trying not to cackle, you are evil, and you have no heart. But anyway.
Oh my god.
But the gag that I told Lena not to say quite yet was because there's a little bit that happens after before we get to the kicker. Like, so I mean, he ends up like going through, like he's traveling through. He ends up actually fighting a big one of those big dirt, whatever they call them. It's like a big worm. Yeah, it's like a centipede or something. He ends up fighting the big centipede. He shoots it, and that was like his first big win. Then he puts a grenade into like a big worm, and you know that ends up blowing up. Yeah, it was the queen worm, and he ends up blowing that up, and he's like, "Oh wow, I did it."
Yeah.
You know, so
I mean,
I was so scared for the dog those 2 times.
I was scared for the dog. I didn't give a damn about him. I was scared for the dog.
I was more
I was more petrified for the dog. That poor dog. I was like, dude, follow the dog. Like the dog knows what's up.
Right.
And, I did not care for him. Like you know he's literally the definition of the wimpy kid. Like, you know that diary, like the diary of the wimpy kid, like that's him. And how he survived this whole time is pure freaking luck. Like I'm telling you, pure freaking luck.
Yeah.
Well, they told him to keep running. That's the thing. They told him it was like you can't really fight. The only thing you got is speed. So just run.
Well, not even just that. He keeps freezing up in front of these monsters, right? Like he has these episodes
right at the beginning. Yeah.
And then it was cool. We got some more of his backstory. We got when he got flung by the giant worm, he was knocked loopy, and we had a flashback of the last time he saw his parents, and one of those big bugs stomped on his parents in the car.
Okay,
like they were bugs.
Like a gruesome death. Okay.
Yeah.
Stomped to death by a fucking insect. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. I laughed.
Wow. And
I know that's terrible. I know that's terrible.
I couldn't
laughed.
tell if it was like a comedy or not. I was like, wait, what?
Wow, I was like shocked shocked that it was so sudden. But
It was
go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say it was one of those moments for me that I was just kind of like, when it happened, she was like, "I love you, son." Splat. And I was like, oh! And like, I literally, because I laughed, like, because I screamed like that, I laughed. So I think it was like one of those uncomfortable laughs where it was just like, oh, that just happened. But how fast it happened was just funny to me.
Brennan, that's literally what we do to those bugs. I bet you that's probably what happened. I love you.
Right.
And so that remembering that moment is what it pissed him off, and it got him to perfect his aim, and well, he had already perfected his aim. It got him to get the courage he needed to kill that thing and to start being able to kill the other bugs.
And also, like, the dog was dependent on him because like, I would have been so pissed had he let that dog die. I would have been like, this is it. I'm not watching this movie anymore. I'm sorry. Like, no way, Jose. You do not let that dog die. I'm sorry. You just don't. You just don't. I don't care how you save it. You just don't let the dog die. And
no, like it was, and that was my thing. It was just like, he brought this dog on this journey, and this dog was way more smarter than he was. I'm just like, anytime that dog was like, oh no, I'm running and I'm hiding and I'm getting the fuck out of here. Like, I mean, he just sitting here like, what are you running for? Right? Why are you running? Why are you hiding?
That was
I'm
pretty
confused.
Dumb. Yeah,
what are you doing? And I'm like, dude was like, trust your instincts. And I'm like, yes, but also listen to the freaking dog.
Right.
Like, if you listen to the dog, like, it would make more sense because the dog already has heightened senses anyway. It can tell when there's danger. So listen to the freaking dog. And he's like, why are you hiding? Why are you acting like that? Why are you running? I'm like, I'm just like, you're an idiot, dude. You're a freaking idiot. Can we just talk about him for like 2.5 seconds and then we'll move on? But
really,
like,
you want to talk about him? Okay, sure.
I kind of want to talk about him just to kind of give the people some clarity, some context.
Okay, guys, all you need to know is that he's a wimpy kid who can't do nothing to save his life, and his parents was killed in front of him. and he's all about finding this girlfriend that he loved at 17. Okay, that's all you need to. I'm kidding. You can go ahead.
but basically that's it. That's basically it. Like, you know, and that's the one thing that I want to just like touch on and that I just want to talk about is just the fact that like dude was just like, he was so, first of all, I'm sorry. I just feel like this is one of those situations, and I don't want to, you know, create an argument for sake of argument's sake. But if you notice, only white people can get away with playing those characters. Because I'm sorry, a man of color would never. And like, I'm sorry, like I would love to see like men of color in leading roles doing something like this, but I don't know if it would be believable. Because I feel like only white people have that naivete about themselves, where they can actually believe, oh, if I go out in the middle of a freaking bug apocalypse, maybe I can survive. I'm gonna go all these miles, take 7 days to go see a girl that I ain't seen in 7 years. Maybe I'm gonna survive. 9 times out of 10, this is a movie, but 9 times out of 10, he would have not survived that.
Nope.
Like, there's no freaking way he should have survived. Like, none. Like, there's no way.
None.
Like, there was just too many situations where it was like, this dude should have died. Like, just absolutely, he just should have died. Like, there's just no way.
I agree. I was waiting for him to die. I was waiting for the dog to just drag him the 90 miles that he needed to go.
Because I'm so serious. I'm like, there's, to me, no man of color is going to risk his life. I don't care, love or not. He ain't going to be like, I'm going to run in the middle of an apocalypse for 7 days to go see this girl. And first of all, and let's just go ahead and get to it. Now, mind you,
not even just that, he never confirmed whether or not they were still interested in each other like that.
Right.
Exactly. And that's my point. That's my point. They never confirmed it, and which we're gonna get there. We're gonna do it. He never confirmed to her that, oh yeah, I want to come and see you. Goes to go see her on this mission where he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna sail the 7 seas and I'm gonna go see this girl. I'm gonna do whatever. I'm gonna, run into this bug apocalypse and I'm gonna do this, right? And my guy, you never asked her, you never told her, hey, I'm coming. You were just like, oh, this is just a thought I had. And she's like, oh, that would be great if you came. She didn't think you were going to do it.
No.
He does it, and then what happens? What did he find out? What did the idiot find out? What did he find out?
After all of that craziness, after the beautiful moment with Mavis and the jellyfish flying around, that was giving him like literally Starry Night, but with just jellyfish, and like having that beautiful moment where he got to say goodbye to his mom, even though, it's just a photo of her, whatever. That was still cute. He finally makes it to the colony, but barely makes it to the colony. Barely. He ends up getting attacked on his way there and blacks out. All the things, right?
Yeah, he got attacked by poison leeches.
Mm-hmm. Dumbass. I mean, first of all, why are you yelling at the damn dog? Do not yell at the damn dog. That's what you get for yelling at the damn dog. So you got yourself, into the water where you get attacked by the leeches. If you didn't yell at him with the damn shirt, the shirt would have not ended up in the freaking lake, river, whatever it was. But no.
Period.
Let the dog have his like red dress. Let the dog have that. It's the one thing he had from his owner. Let the dog have that. All the dog did was save your ass. Okay, I'm just saying.
Multiple times.
Seriously. So all I'm saying is, like, if he did not yell at the dog and end up in the river, he would not have been attacked by these like black sucking leechies, whatever they're called.
Nope.
So whatever, that was his fault. I actually do not blame the dog at all. That was totally his fault. So he makes it to the
not at all.
Barely alive. He sees his girlfriend and he tries to kiss her. It was like the most cringiest moment I've ever seen.
Yeah, and he was all poisoned trying to kiss her.
Yep. I was like, ew, gross. Like, no, thank you. But turns out he actually didn't even end up really kissing her because he was like hallucinating and thought it was her, but really it was some dude.
But here's the kicker, though. They get back to the little hangout, a little spot or whatever, and she basically lets him know. She was like, yo, it's been 7 years, my dude. Like, I done fell in love with somebody else. He died. I'm still ain't over him. Like, child, listen, like, I didn't think you was coming. I didn't think I'd ever see you again. So I moved on. Now, this is the question that I wanted to bring up to y'all. Because I was gagged. I'm not even gonna lie to you. My mouth dropped. But then again, I was like, I understood it. Now, do y'all think she was wrong for not telling him?
Okay,
that she was in a relationship?
Okay, so
because he was thinking that, everything was cool. Go ahead.
So straight up, when she was radioing him, I felt like she should have been more clear because through the radio, when they finally got in contact with each other, she's just seemed like you can tell she was sort of, oh my God, I can't believe it's you. But then she seemed very uninterested in talking to him, like she had that tone. It was like oh, so like what's new? Like, what did you do? How did you survive? It was like, oh my God. Like,
I miss you.
Like, how have you been? Like, what do you look like? Like, whatever, like just like questions that you would ask somebody that you genuinely miss, like your reaction to not be able to talk to them for 7 years. Like, oh my God, you survived. Like, I'm so glad you, like none of that. It was just a very like, oh, you made it.
Oh, you didn't die. Good for you.
Yeah, exactly. You made it this long.
Yeah, she seemed in that first conversation that they had, she seemed so nonchalant.
Yeah.
Like she just like, oh yeah, that's great. You're alive. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it didn't sound like she didn't bring up like I said before, she didn't say I love you.
No.
I miss you.
No.
I can't wait to see you again.
I mean, like, to be fair,
she might have said that later.
I mean, like, also at the end of the day, though, too, like,
that part.
This dude was obviously working really hard to find you after 7 years. So if he's working hard to find you, the least you could have done is say something, right? Or at least show some sort of, hey, like, dude, it's been 7 years, or just casually bring up the fact that you had a boyfriend or whatever, you know? So I feel like it was also her fault for not saying anything. And I think for him, because it took him so long to finally find her, he just overlooked everything that was being feeded to him, you know, like the energy, you know, the casual, like, oh, that's great, you survived, what we do, you know, like he just overlooked all of that, right? And I get it, because it was the one thing that kept him going for 7 years, was that he was gonna go see her again. You know, it was that one thing. And I mean, you always know that, in a relationship, there's always gonna be that one situation where someone likes the other person way better. And in their case, it was him. And it's unfortunate, right? And I think what's even more crazy is the fact that he was so sure of their relationship that he risked his life for 7 days to go find her. And with her, I genuinely felt like she should have said something. She should have. And I mean, it wasn't like they didn't have a lot of time. I felt like they had so much time to talk to each other that she could have easily just casually been like, oh, like, it really sucks, but the other day my boyfriend died. Like, I don't know, something, you know, like something to the effect that she had essentially moved on.
Or hell, even just tell him, because here's the thing, and this is why I feel like she definitely was kind of messed up in the situation. Yeah. And I kind of felt like she was in the wrong, because my thing was, it's like, okay, girl, I understand, like, you know, you fall in love with other people, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, sure. You know, shit happens, you know what I'm saying? I get it, you know, but it wasn't like it's almost kind of like, really, to be truthfully honest, I know the world ended, but it was almost kind of framed like they moved away. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, she moved to another city. Yeah. And they were dating long distance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I feel like, and if you were to put it in that kind of situation, even in that context, still, if you are going to be far away from somebody and still have communication with them, y'all still in a relationship.
But granted,
she should have at some point told him during those 7 years, hey,
no, Brennan, they didn't have communication with each other for 7 years. It took him recently to finally find her colony.
Yeah. And even then, if they're speaking, because they've been speaking recently, so at some point she could have said, my life has changed now.
Exactly. At some
point,
it's
lack of communication.
Exactly. And that's what it is. And that's my point. It's like, at some point, because they've been talking, apparently the way they made it seem, like he tries to talk to her as much as possible. So I'm pretty sure, like, they had more conversations than what was in the actual, you know, what we saw. You know, I'm pretty sure there was more to that. And, you know, if they were talking like a lot and they had a lot of communication with each other, at some point she should have been like, hey, just to kind of let you know, things changed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I lost someone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I fell in love with somebody else, I lost them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm still kind of like, you know, because like the thing is, when he would talk to her, he would still talk to her the way that he was speaking to her when they were together.
Exactly.
So it's like, you know, he ain't, you know, you can tell by the way he's talking to you that he's, you know, because there's a certain way that when somebody likes you, or when somebody is in love with you, there's a certain way they talk to you.
Yep.
There's a certain way. And he was giving her all the, ooh, baby, I miss you kind of vibes, and ooh, I can't wait to see you kind of vibes. And she's just kind of dubbing him like, yeah, yeah, it would be nice to see you too.
Yeah, pretty much. That's literally what she sounded like.
And it's like, my girl, like, I'm sorry, but this is kind of your fault too, because you kind of led him on to believe like, oh yeah, things are still the same, things are cool. And when he actually does come to see you, which I will say was dumb as shit, and this is the exact reason why I'm like, I am not rooting for this dude. Like, I did not root for him at all in this movie. I did not root for him. Because I was like, what you're doing is stupid. So like, it's dumb. Like, why would you? No. But the fact that he risked his life to go and to go and see her, you know, for you to turn around and be like, well, why did you come here? Like, I didn't expect to see you. That is like a slap in the face.
She literally said that. She was like, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here?
That's some
I'm not
bullshit.
gonna lie, I felt it for him. I was like, yo, I wasn't rooting for you, but now that you've already made it this far and you actually saw her, like I dead ass thought he was gonna die so long ago, okay? So fucking long ago. But then he made it there and he sees her and they're holding each other, and you figured that she'd be way more excited to see him, and she's not.
She's like, oh, you made it. Good for you.
Yeah, pretty
He's
much.
like, I came to, I came to see you. And she's like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah.
He's like,
what the hell did you expect when he was saying all that stuff in those conversations?
Right.
Like, I'm sorry. Hey, is this the same girl that's in Iron Fist?
Yes, it is.
I did not like her in Iron Fist. I damn as well do not like her in this movie. Something about her is awfully annoying. Awfully, like, I was condescending about her. I don't know. I just don't like her. I don't know if it's the character that she's playing. It just doesn't seem to work out well for her, or it's just her acting. Like, I don't even know what it is. All I know is that both characters that she played, I did not like them. She was whiny as shit in the first one in Iron Fist, and she's sort of a bitch in this one.
Yeah,
tell us how you feel.
It's kind of sad. Like the way she did him, I'm not gonna lie, it was really messed up. And that's when I actually felt like, oh yeah, I actually do kind of feel bad for him.
I was
like
really
in that moment
that too, yeah. And then
like I felt bad for him in that moment.
And then on top of all of that, he made a whole ass journal for her.
Right.
Like he did drawings and everything. And like I don't know, man. Like I really did feel bad at the end. Go on.
So did you think that was romantic or creepy?
I thought it was romantic. I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, I feel
it was both to me.
For me personally,
I didn't like that shit. I didn't like that.
The journal? What's wrong with the journal?
No, because it's obsessive and it's been 7 years and you think that you're still with this girl.
No, the bug journal, not the other journal.
He would write to her.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It's been 7 years, buddy.
Hello, have you?
He didn't even know. He didn't even know. No, I haven't.
Have you not? Okay. Well, in the Notebook, Noah, played by Ryan Gosling, writes to Allie, played by Rachel McAdams, for I think 7 years or almost.
What a coincidence! We were just talking about these people,
right? He wrote to her a letter every single day, 365 letters for a whole year, and she never wrote them back because her mom took those letters and hit them. So I don't think this is creepy. I think that's
this is a little bit different, just because he kept them.
Yeah,
there was nowhere to send these
because he didn't know how to send them, right? Like, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, get you a man who'll write you a fucking journal. That's all I'm saying. Who would travel to the earth of the ends for you, even though he could have died so many fucking times, okay? Get you a man who's loyal to you for 7 years straight and still wants your ass. Like, all I'm saying is that nowadays, you can't even get a guy to commit to a fucking date. So get you a man that'll write you a whole fucking journal.
Good point.
You know, like, that would travel fucking 90 miles, who basically risked his life every 5 seconds that he got opportunity to, and made it to you, like, and waited for you for 7 years. That's all I'm saying, guys. You might think it's creepy, but I rather that. I rather that. And he didn't give you the creepy vibes. He just did some stuff that was a little more obsessive. But hey, you know what? Nowadays you'd be asking dude, hey, what are you looking for? And they're all like, yeah, I'm looking for a girl or a dude to build an empire with. And then 5 seconds later, he's just looking for a fuck buddy.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, here's my thing, right? Like I said, I personally feel like she was in the wrong as far as that is concerned. It was like they both were wrong in various ways, because it's like he was wrong for just assuming that they were still together.
I mean,
and going out there and risking his life.
But technically, they never, like, exactly like you said, though. he was giving her all the "I love you, baby, I miss you" vibe. I don't think he was in the wrong to assume that they were still together because there was never a clear communication as to that they were not together. And he said to her, the last thing he said to her right after they part was, "I will come find you. No matter what, I will come find you." That's what he says to her. And he kept his promise. So tell me where he went wrong, where he assumed that they were still together.
For being an idiot and running out and actually doing it.
I mean, like, I'm not gonna like.
That's what he was wrong. It's just like you're a dummy, bitch.
I mean,
nobody wants you. Nobody needs you. Like,
I mean,
what are you
like,
doing?
I mean, you know what? Like, I'm not. I mean, you're not wrong, but if that was my man, fuck, I'd be pretty darn proud. I'd be like, yes,
no,
see that man.
No, I'm not. No, that I'm not gonna say he was dumb. I was just quoting a movie. But like the thing is, he was stupid for doing what he did. But
really stupid.
Like I was actually quoting a movie. But like the thing is, it's like he was dumb in that regard for actually going out and doing it. But the thing is, she should have definitely told him that, hey,
straight up,
yeah, we're not together. Like I don't like you like that anymore. But
no, dude, that's exactly what happened. She should have just said
that's
it.
what happened. She should have told him.
Exactly.
And it would have been like, oh, and I know he would have been hurt, but it would have been like, oh, okay, at least he would have moved on and he could have stayed with his people instead of going out and risking his life to go and see somebody who don't really even care if he made it out.
But the thing is, though, that journey taught him a lot, and that journey changed him as a person. So it was a journey he needed to take in order to build his character. So it was
because he was a little bitch.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Damn.
He was. He really was. So you know what? Like, it was great that he did what he had to do. Like, granted, the whole reasoning behind it was so stupid, but whatever. He did what he had to do. He made it to her. But then the moment he got to her, she was all like, "Great that you made it, but we're leaving." And he's like, "Say what now?" She's like, "Yeah, we met a captain who's here to take us onto his boat. Comes enter who wants to do the grand intro."
As long as we've been talking about this film, that's how long it took this man to show up. And this man is the former Ranger Series operator Black Dylan from RPM, Dan Ewing.
Yay! About freaking time.
Who looks like
Quicksilver?
a freaking Quicksilver from Age of Ultron.
He did. He did.
With his Australian accent.
So and he had his accent. Yeah.
And he got to play the villain.
So initially we didn't know this. You know how I had to like skim through it. So I just just remember him. I literally saw him come on, and then I fast forwarded to get to the and then I fast forwarded to the whole turn. So explain. Oh my god! So do me a favor and explain how he arrived on the scene.
So basically, according to the girl, when she was talking to the boy, basically, you know,
wow, who are these people?
Listen, I don't remember their names.
I don't know their names either. I know his real name, Dylan, but I don't know his like character.
I don't remember his name, but anyway, they were talking.
Not important.
It's not important, but they were talking, and he was like, "I'm just gonna use his real name." Dan Ewing's character was like, you know, he had a boat, and basically he was gonna take these people and basically be like, "All right, we're gonna go ahead and, you know, ship you off to safety, and everything's gonna be all good." So the people were like, "Oh, word, he gonna save us? Word." So of course, you know, all the people were like, "Yay!" So they was gonna jump on the boat. Now, basically, how they figured out that it was a lie was earlier in the film when the main character was walking with this the man and the little girl. He taught her that he taught him that the berries that he had that they found, he taught him that those berries were poisonous, and that those are the ones that you should avoid. Well, what ended up happening was when he was about to talk to his people from his original colony, the guy gave him the same berries and was like, "Yo, the captain gives these to you as a present. He makes his own beer and all this stuff, and he just wants you to, be happy and all this stuff. Basically, kind of like giving him this false security of like, we're inviting you into the fold." So after he gets off talking to his old colony, he realizes, he looked at the berries and he's like, holy crap, these are poisonous. He remembers the guy their conversation, and he's like, oh crap. And then he looks into his journal and he finds that those things are poisonous. He goes to try to warn the people, and basically doesn't he get knocked out?
He does get knocked out.
Sonya Blade. Yeah, Sonya Blade knocked
him
out.
Not Sonya Blade. That was Sonya, wasn't it?
I don't think it was the same actor, but she
does kind of favor Sonya Blade, though. She did kind of give Sonya Blade.
I wanted to say real quick, the man and the daughter that we're referring to, picture in Zombieland. Do you remember when that little girl came to be with that older guy, what was his name? Woody Allen.
Oh, that doesn't sound good because of his real life.
Well, it's all about them. It's all about them wood today. That's saying.
What the fuck?
Wow. And you talking about my jokes were bad.
All right, let's continue on because that was awkward. That was some awkward silence.
Wow. And my jokes were bad. Okay. But no, like he basically met the one that we were referring to earlier, with the man who lost his son and the little girl who lost her parents. So they basically warned him about a whole bunch of stuff, and he remembered the stuff that he warned them. So basically he wakes up on the beach, and him and the girl basically are like chained up. And they're like, we're going to go ahead and feed you to this gigantic crab. And so, like, he keeps shocking the crab.
Because he controlled the crab.
Because he can control it.
Yeah. Chaining it up with I guess, like electrocuted, like, chain or something like that.
Yeah.
So he kept getting the crab to do things by shocking it.
So, like, the crab would attack them. And like basically he helped like defend the people or whatever, and like kind of like saved them from being hurt. Well, long story short, basically like he's almost about to be killed by the crab, and then he looks into the crab's eyes, and he's like,
Dan is the owner of this crab.
Yes. Yeah, like Dan, when we were saying the person who's controlling the crab is Dan Ewing. So Dan Ewing's character is the captain. So captain is controlling the crab. And so when the guy is about to die, he looks into the crab's eyes and he realizes that the crab is not a bad person. Like, he's not a bad thing. Because the old man also told him that if you look into the thing's eyes, you can tell whether or not they're going to kill you or if they're going to leave you alone. And so he looks into his eyes and he realizes, oh crap, like, it's good. It's not going to hurt me. So, he ends up freeing the crab instead. He shoots the crab with like this little gun thing. He shoots the chain and broke it free. So then the crab decides that it's going to swim out to the boat where Dan Ewing's character and his little band of merry thieves are, and basically eats them.
Right. They deserve it.
Eats them alive. Yum, yum, yum. And
so delicious.
So delicious, delicioso. And now of course we don't see it, which I was like, thank God, because this movie could have really been gross. But we didn't see him. We didn't see him meet his demise, but we know he did. And yeah. And then so basically he ends up, saving the people. They're all happy.
Mhm.
And he goes back to his colony to tell them, his adventure,
And he
which
made
his
it.
colony was shocked that he did it.
And the fact that he made it back too.
Right. They were like, you actually made it and you made it back. So, he came back to his colony, and then he actually encouraged them to actually leave the colony and explore themselves.
Which,
So
said if it wasn't for him taking that trip, he would have not like grown as a person, So I think it was needed for him. Stupid reason, I still agree. Very stupid reason to leave. But
a dumb reason. Terrible reason.
but you know what? It gave him the courage that he needed in order to pursue his life,
Yes. And he saved the people. So I mean, at the end of the day, it was getting to the point where their colony kept getting breached. And sooner or later, like those bugs were going to kill all of them. So it was like, all right, we got to find a way. So he ends up actually, encouraging them to leave the colony and explore, so that they can find a safe haven with other people, and they can, find a way to fight these bugs back, fight back against them.
He created volume 2 of that journal that y'all don't like so much.
Right. Listen, the journal is just, it was helpful for him, but also like him writing them letters was just kind of like, wow, dude. But yeah, so I mean, overall thoughts. Like, what do you think about the movie?
Okay, personally, let's get into the ratings too. Personally, I want to give this movie 4 out of 5. Mostly because
wow, okay.
Mostly because of the dog and the robot.
None of the humans.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
They deserve their things, okay? Those performances, I mean,
that's why they say in show business, you do not act with children and animals.
Yep. So they
will out-act you every time.
Yep. So they deserve the thing. So 4 out of 5 because of them. But I do appreciate the growth that they gave this character that he needed,
Yeah.
And of course Dylan. Wow, Dylan is a really good
Dan
actor.
is his name. Dan is his real name.
No, I'm talking
it is his real name.
No, I'm talking about Dylan, like the boy who decided to leave his colony for this dumb girl.
Oh, his name is Dylan.
Yeah, his real name is Dylan.
Okay.
His real name is Dylan. That's right.
Dylan O'Brien. Dylan O'Brien.
O'Brien. I forgot the boy real name was Dylan.
Fun fact. Dylan O'Brien was actually in Teen Wolf.
He was Styles.
Yeah.
Was it his name Styles or Silas? Styles?
Yeah,
it was Styles, right?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and Allie Kane actually makes a little cameo as well too. She's one of the characters later on in the season in Teen Wolf. There we go. I gave Dylan the character development that he needed, and what's great is that we get to see a story from beginning to end. So at least there was progress. At least there was movement, And yes,
right.
It's the most stupid thing to get to a girl, but at least he grew as a person too. And I think for him, she was the closure he needed in order to move on with his life and to pursue the great things that he's about to do. So overall, I do feel that, shitty start, but a great ending. So because of that, it was a 4 out of 5. And like, oh my God. And Dan's acting, whoa. I mean, the short, 10, 15 minutes that we saw him in, right? He sold us. Like, the only thing was I didn't realize why she couldn't pick up was the creepy vibes. He was so creepy.
Yeah, he was creepy.
Like, he was so creepy. So I would not trust him, but that's just me. Overall, though, Dan's character, 5 out of 5. Creepiness on point. Villainous on point. Though even the way he died, on point.
Wow.
So that's me. 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5 for Dan.
Here's the thing. I'll give this movie, for me, I'll give this movie a 3 out of 5. It wasn't a bad movie. I just feel like the intention to get this boy to, go out and do the thing. I just feel like it was stupid. Like to me, it was just. I'm like, you're dumb. You are stupid. You know what I'm saying? Like you deserve to die, and I'm not rooting for you. Like
God
I was
damn.
just
100%.
like that was like that was literally my entire like during the entire movie. I was like, I'm not rooting for this guy. Like I was rooting for the dog. I was rooting for Mavis.
Right?
I was rooting for everything but him. Like I was just like, I'm not, I don't care about this guy. And the only time that I actually cared was when he got his feelings hurt.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh damn, like now I'm rooting for you because I'm like, now I'm like, oh my God, like this really sucks. Like, oh God, oh wow, this really sucks. This happened to you. So now I actually care.
Right. And I think it also sucks more is because like in a way it like she could have just done so much to make the situation so much better and she didn't.
Yeah. And that's the part that sucks about it. And so I was like, you know what? I'll give him, I hold space for him. But I didn't actually hold, like I said, I didn't actually feel that way until like 30 minutes into the, like towards the end of the movie. Like 30 minutes before the movie ended. Like that's when I actually felt some type of way about him. But other than that, I didn't care. So, and then also, just I feel like just in general, like the movie itself, I feel like everything around him, like the circumstances around him, made it more interesting than me being like, oh my gosh, like the characters are like, oh my goodness, this is interesting, this is great. Instead of him being like he's instead of me being excited about him, I was more excited about the people around him and the things that were happening around him. Dan Ewing's character, I would probably give him a 4 out of 5. I thought that his character was really good. And I really enjoyed just like, how his character was and just like, how evil he was and how he was trying to, basically, kill them. I will say though, I didn't like that it took him to the end of the movie to pop in. Like I was like, they bring him in the third act. You know what I'm saying? It was like the final act. This is when you bring him in. It's like, okay. Like I wish you would have brought him in a little sooner, but I mean, great. So I guess for me, it's like, I would have loved to have seen him sooner, but hey, it's one of those things where it's like, you get what you can give, right?
Yep.
You get what you can get. But for what we saw, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed him. So yeah, 4 out of 5.
There you go.
What about you, Will?
The film itself, I would give it like a 3 out of 5. I enjoyed it. Unfortunately, I'd say the last like 45 minutes I had to kind of skim through to get ready for the show. So I'm gonna go back. I actually want to go back and watch it, so that's a good thing. But I like the story of him, of the journey that he was on, Joel. But the MVP of the movie definitely was Boy, the little dog. I love that dog so much. I was rooting for that dog. I was so happy that he survived. For Dan, oh my God, it kind of reminds me. I always talk about the 2017 Power Rangers movie. It kind of reminds me of in that movie how there was so much character build in maybe like 75% of the movie, and then the end is when we got the big shebang that everybody was waiting for. And in this case, we were waiting to see Dan Ewing, and he came in like super late. So I was wondering where the hell he was, but I really enjoyed what he did and how they did his character. Them doing the little plot twist of him being a villain was nice, and the way that he portrayed it I enjoyed. that was a pretty cool how they were talking about food stealing all throughout the movie, asking if
Oh
Joel was
yeah,
when
like did
people
you steal the
would
food?
yeah. So I guess like I don't know if they quite met exactly what Cap was doing, but food stealing's a bad thing. And he was that was something else to go to different colonies, trick the people, take their food and supplies and just kill them. Did he really have to kill them all?
Oh no,
But
Right.
that was pretty evil.
and I think
So
also,
yeah, like
I think also because for him, he had to kill them, otherwise they would have found him and like killed him.
what is the likelihood that they would find him though? But I guess he didn't want to risk it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's just evil. Maybe he just gets on with killing people. I don't know. Like, whatever turns him on.
Could be. But yeah, for his character, I give that a strong 4 out of 5. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed his portrayal.
There you go. There we have it.
All
Ladies
right.
and gentlemen. Oh, for those in America, it is available on Amazon Prime. And then for those in Canada, it's available on Netflix.
Yes, and also if you also want to see it as well, it is available on YouTube too. So you can see it on YouTube, Amazon Prime. But you will have to rent it, so you will have to pay. But if you don't want to pay, then cool. If not, then that's okay too. But yeah, it is available. So if you want to actually see the movie, you can.
And not
Oh yeah,
not as glory. It's not as glory as Brightburn, and
Oh,
No.
not at all.
not as violent, and it's rather funny.
Oh god, yo, I forgot to say, is it bad that the whole time that crab was on screen, I was thinking about how much crab meat would be in it, like if you cooked it. Ooh.
Sir. What? What?
That's mutated.
I know, right?
What? Bruh, what?
No.
Wow. Okay.
Well.
Wow. No.
No.
No. I didn't think of that at all.
Me neither. I was just more like, oh my god, you're gonna die by a crab. Like, ew, no.
I was sitting here thinking, why that crab got these big ass eyes looking like
they look human, kind of.
Right. It had these big human eyes, like blink, blink, blink. Like I'm so cute and cuddly. I'm like, what are you doing? Why do you look like that? Like I was like, oh, okay, I guess. But I mean, hey, whatever. But oh yeah, and you did say that Will, you sent us in the chat that what was it, Pose? Shouted out Power Rangers. What is this? What is this, honey? What is that?
Well, it literally just happened. There is season 3 is set in 94, and during a scene there was a kid that was sitting down in front of a TV watching Power Rangers.
Oh wow.
But they had to dub over the music though, but
okay.
So I'm looking for, I was already going to watch it, but I'm really looking forward to watching it now.
Okay. Well, look at that. Power Rangers getting more visibility. We love to see it.
I mean, they were getting visibility in Spider-Man also. Remember? Spider-Man was It Calls Home, where
when they were on the trip and like the guy I mentioned, like he was talking about Power Rangers. Yeah. I mean, Power Rangers does get its things. I mean, and that's good that it's actually starting to, be recognized. So, right. I mean, like in mainstream media. So, I mean, we're getting there, y'all. We getting there. Soon we're gonna be hopefully, bigger and better than we were before. Maybe? Question mark?
Than before.
Hopefully.
I know, right? But does anybody else have anything to add before we leave tonight?
Just don't have crab meats, please. That's just gross.
Right. No mutant crab meat.
No mutant crab meat. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't listen to Will over here. You know, want to eat crabs with big human eyes. Talking about some. Oh yeah. I wonder how much meat is in there. Love to eat that. It's like, come on, dude. Like, I promise you, we will stop with the sexual jokes. I promise you, they will end next episode, or maybe not.
Maybe not.
I
mean,
maybe,
I don't know.
maybe not.
We can't promise.
Maybe not.
We
I don't
cannot
know.
promise. Like, no. This is what you get. This is too far. Like,
oh gosh, but anywho, my name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
And I will.
And we will see you next time.